Well, Pew Research Center did a poll about online harassment. And guess which group said that they were harassed the most about their religion? White evangelicals. Shocking. Here's the article from Pew Research Center about 1 in 5 Americans who have been harassed online say it was because of their religion. Some 41% of U.S. adults have been harassed online in at least one of 6 ways covered in this study. Those who have been subjected to these experiences cite a number of reasons for why they were targeted, and a notable share believe that the harassment they faced was due to their religious affiliation. About 1/5 of those Americans who have personally experienced online harassment say they believe they were targeted because of their religion. When looking at Americans overall, not just those who have been harassed online, that share is equivalent to 8% of the overall population. If you look at the chart over here, it says about 3 in 10 white evangelical Protestants who've been harassed online say it was due to their religion. Among Protestants, white evangelical online harassment targets are more likely than white non-evangelical targets to say they believe they were the target of harassment online because of their religion. It's funny how that works, isn't it? The loudest group who goes out of their way to tell other people how they should live, and the group that feels like they're losing the grip on America, the group that stormed the Capitol, that group is the one saying that they are the victim of online harassment. You know, if you shove your stuff in somebody else's face and they reject it, or if they call you crazy for it, or if they cuss you out because you're being overly assertive, that's not harassment. You don't get to play the victim in that situation. Now, just because somebody is a white evangelical, that doesn't mean that they cannot experience harassment, because of course they can. I'm not trying to lump everybody in one group because I know that white evangelicals can differ greatly. I know a lot of white evangelicals who are great people, but there are some who are quite extreme and view any pushback on what they're trying to push as oppression. Next thing we're going to look at here is an article from the Friendly Atheist called E.W. Jackson, Gay and Transgender People Will Never Get into Heaven. Right-wing radio host and former candidate for Lieutenant Governor of Virginia, E.W. Jackson, who recently said John Ossoff and Raphael Warnock were demonically possessed, spent part of his live-streamed Bible study yesterday trashing LGBTQ people. Besides claiming gay and trans people couldn't get into heaven, a belief that many conservative evangelicals and Catholics oppose, Jackson also condemned Dr. Rachel Levine, a trans woman and pediatrician selected by Joe Biden to be the assistant health secretary. Let's see what old E.W. Jackson has to say here.
No transgenders in heaven. No homosexuals in heaven. Nobody in heaven is going to be confused about what God made them to be. There's nobody in heaven is going to be talking about, I'm a man, but I've got a woman on the inside. Please. See, that's how you know that stuff is of the devil. That's how you know. Because that stuff is not going into heaven. So what people need to do is get saved now, get delivered now. Did you see this guy, this Assistant Secretary of Health and Human Services, I think it is? What's he call himself? Rachel something or other. I mean, it's sad. It's pathetic. It really is. You look at this guy, and he's a freak.
I can't figure out why evangelical Christians are so obsessed with gay people and transgender people. How does it affect this guy at all that someone transgender was selected by President Joe Biden to be the assistant health secretary? That must be the Christian love we hear so much about. Nothing but insult, comic humor, and cruelty. There's no substance to it. It's just Jackson ripping on people he deems less worthy. Keep in mind that Jackson assumes he'd be going to heaven, never acknowledging how that would be hell for everyone else. And yet his beliefs are perfectly in line with the kind of anti-LGBTQ rhetoric that's commonplace in conservative churches. They demonize people they don't understand because their entire worldview is etched in stone. They would rather insist their archaic views are perfect than educate themselves and change their thinking. That's what it is. It's always pointing the finger at other people. It's elevating these sins to be higher than others. Like, really, man, your hatred and disgust for other people is somehow more tolerated and better than someone being gay or transgender. In your mind, you're better than them. I am frequently asked why I talk about religion, why I talk about God. It's because of stuff like this. That's why I do it. Because it's important for those of us who don't believe to be able to voice our opposition to the hatred, the bigotry, and the self-importance that comes out of certain sects of religion, certain sects of Christianity. It's disgusting. They have this confidence. They have this feeling of superiority. They have this feeling of self-righteousness because most of the people in this country believe in Jesus Christ. And so they can walk around with their chest puffed out and think that they can tell other people how to live. They know that most other people have their back too. So yeah, people believe like I do. Now, of course, not everybody believes like this guy. And there are definitely extremists. And so I'm not speaking to all Christians, all evangelical Christians. But because the majority of Americans are Protestant Christians, it enables people like him to have a platform. Thanks for watching. Make sure to hit that subscribe button if you want to see some more ex-Christian and atheist videos. Until next time, let logic and reason guide the way. Peace out.